Isn't it true that as we get a little older, we start noticing changes? Perhaps a bit more stiffness in the morning, a forgotten name here and there, or maybe a quieter evening than we used to have. We often shrug them off, telling ourselves, "Oh, that's just part of getting older." But what if some of these seemingly small shifts aren't just age catching up, but rather quiet whispers from your body and mind, trying to tell you something incredibly important? What if ignoring these whispers could mean missing a crucial opportunity to significantly improve your quality of life, your comfort, and your happiness in your golden years? It's a painful reality that many of us, or our dear friends and family, might be displaying subtle, often overlooked signals that something deeper is at play. Signals that hint at a decline that doesn't have to be inevitable. These aren't just signs of slowing down. They're invitations to act, to intervene, and to reclaim vitality. In this video, we're going to gently explore 5 incredibly common warning signs that nearly all seniors show. And crucially, we'll talk about why you absolutely must not ignore them. We'll uncover what these signs truly mean for your well-being. And more importantly, what empowering steps you can take today to foster a healthier, more vibrant life. Stick with me to the very end, because I promise you, there's something important waiting for you that might just surprise you. Let's begin by looking at the first incredibly common, yet often dismissed, signal that our bodies try to send us a significant and noticeable decrease in mobility, activity, or an overwhelming, persistent fatigue that seems to settle in your bones. Maybe you found yourself opting for the armchair more often, even when the weather's lovely. Or perhaps simple tasks like walking to the letterbox or getting up from a chair feel like a monumental effort. It's not just about feeling a little tired. It's a deep-seated weariness that no amount of rest seems to shake, combined with a reluctance or difficulty to move the way you once did. Now, why is this more than just getting older? Well, our bodies are wonderfully designed to move, and when we stop moving, a cascade of issues can begin. This isn't merely about losing a bit of pep in your step. It's often a direct consequence of muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, which accelerates as we age if we aren't actively engaging our muscles. This loss of muscle doesn't just make you weaker, it affects your balance, makes everyday tasks harder, and diminishes your overall energy levels. Coupled with that, reduced activity means your joints can become stiffer. Your heart and lungs don't get the workout they need, and you might even start to feel a creeping sense of isolation because it's simply too much effort to go out and connect with others. The painful reality here is that this cycle of reduced mobility and increased fatigue can quickly lead to a loss of independence, something none of us want to face. But here's the empowering part. This sign is a huge opportunity for positive change. You don't need to train for a marathon to turn this around. Even the gentlest, most consistent movement can make an astonishing difference. Start small, really small. Could you walk to the kitchen and back a few extra times a day? Can you do some gentle chair exercises while watching your favorite show? Perhaps some arm raises or leg lifts? Think about stretching each morning, just for 5 minutes, to improve flexibility. Incorporating resistance is key for muscle building. Simple things like using light weights, resistance bands, or even just your own body weight with standing up and sitting down exercises. Staying hydrated is also crucial, as dehydration can contribute significantly to fatigue. And critically, nourishing your body with nutrient-rich foods provides the fuel it needs. If the fatigue is overwhelming, always chat with your doctor. Sometimes, there are underlying conditions that are easily managed once identified. Think of Mary, who used to love gardening but found herself too tired to even walk to her raised beds. She started with just 5 minutes of walking around her house each day, then added some simple chair stretches. Slowly, she built up her stamina, and now she's back out in her garden, not just weeding, but actually enjoying the sunshine and the feel of the earth in her hands. Her energy is back, and so is her joy. Moving on to our second subtle but crucial signal: unexplained weight loss, or a significant loss of appetite and interest in food. We're not talking about shedding a few pounds deliberately, but rather a noticeable, unintentional drop in weight without trying, or finding that the very thought of food leaves you feeling indifferent, even when you used to love your meals. Perhaps you're skipping meals more often, or even when you do eat, The food just seems bland, lacking the flavor and joy it once held. This warning sign is particularly concerning because it points directly to potential malnutrition, which is far more common in seniors than many realize. When your body isn't getting the right nutrients, it starts to suffer in myriad ways. Your immune system weakens, leaving you more vulnerable to illness. Your energy levels plummet, compounding that feeling of fatigue we just discussed. Muscle wasting accelerates, further impacting your strength and mobility. And sometimes, this loss of appetite can be a symptom of underlying health issues, from dental problems that make chewing difficult, to medication side effects, or even more serious conditions that need medical attention. The painful reality is that, without adequate nutrition, every bodily system struggles, making you feel weaker and more susceptible to health challenges. But, again, there's so much you can do if you're experiencing this. Try to shift your focus from 3 large meals to smaller, more frequent, nutrient-dense mini-meals throughout the day. Think of easy-to-eat, high-protein snacks like Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts, or a smoothie packed with fruit and protein powder. Make mealtimes an enjoyable experience. Eat with a friend or family member, or listen to music. Experiment with herbs and spices to make food more appealing, as taste buds can change with age. Ensure your dental health is in good shape, as ill-fitting dentures or tooth pain can make eating a chore. And, as always, having an open conversation with your doctor or a registered dietitian is paramount. They can help identify any medical causes and provide tailored nutritional advice. Consider John, who found that cooking for himself had become a chore. He started inviting his young grandchild over to help him prepare simple meals, adding fresh herbs from his garden. The process became joyful again, and soon, he was rediscovering the pleasure of food, regaining his strength and a healthy appetite. Now that we've discussed how crucial it is to address changes in your activity and eating habits, let's turn our attention to another deeply important sign that often goes unnoticed until it's become quite pronounced. Next, let's dive into something that can be incredibly distressing, both for the individual experiencing it and for their loved ones: an increase in confusion, forgetfulness, or a general sense of disorientation that goes beyond the occasional misplaced keys. We're talking about more significant shifts here, perhaps finding it difficult to follow a longer conversation, or repeating questions that were just answered. Maybe it's getting momentarily lost in a once familiar neighborhood, struggling to manage routine tasks like paying bills, or even subtle changes in personality that feel out of character. While a little forgetfulness can be a normal part of aging, a consistent pattern of these issues is a signal that demands our attention. This particular sign is so critical because it can point towards cognitive decline, and in some cases, early stages of dementia. Ignoring these signals isn't just about missing a memory. It can impact your safety, your independence, and the very fabric of your relationships. When our minds aren't as sharp as they once were, simple tasks become overwhelming, decision-making harder, and the world bewildering. This painful reality means that if left unaddressed, the quality of your life and your ability to live independently can diminish significantly. But here's the good news. There are powerful steps you can take to nurture your brain health. Engaging your brain with stimulating activities is paramount. Think puzzles, learning a new language or skill, reading, or even playing strategic board games. Social engagement is a powerful brain booster, as meaningful conversations keep your mind active. Don't underestimate regular physical activity. Even gentle movement increases blood flow to the brain. Vital for its health, a heart-healthy diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, like the Mediterranean diet, also nourishes your brain. Ensuring adequate sleep and managing stress are equally crucial. If you or a loved one are noticing these patterns, please consult a doctor for a thorough evaluation. Early detection and intervention can make a world of difference. Take Susan, who noticed she was struggling to remember details from conversations. Her doctor suggested she engage in more mentally stimulating activities. She tried learning basic Spanish phrases. Not only did she enjoy the challenge, but her overall memory became sharper, and her confidence soared. Our fourth significant warning sign, one that often silently creeps in, is social withdrawal, or a noticeable loss of interest in hobbies and activities that once brought joy. Have you found yourself declining invitations more often? even from close friends or family. Perhaps you're not picking up that paintbrush, gardening tool, or knitting needles that used to be a source of pleasure. It's not just about enjoying quiet evenings, it's a deeper reluctance to engage, a pulling away from the world, leading to spending excessive time alone. This signal is profoundly important because it's a strong indicator of loneliness and, often, underlying depression. Humans are social creatures, and genuine connection nourishes our spirits and minds. When we withdraw, we cut ourselves off from vital stimulation, support, and purpose. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It has tangible negative impacts on physical health, contributing to higher rates of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even a weakened immune system. This painful reality means this withdrawal creates a vicious cycle where isolation breeds more isolation, and the joy of life can slowly seep away. But this is a sign we can actively combat. Scheduling. Regular social interactions is key, whether it's a weekly phone call, video chat, or visit. Look for opportunities to join clubs or groups that align with your interests. A book club, a walking group, a senior center activity, volunteering. Even for a few hours a month, can provide a wonderful sense of purpose and connection. Try to rekindle an old hobby. Sometimes just picking it up again can spark joy. For some, adopting a pet, if able, can bring immense companionship. If you suspect depression, please reach out for professional help. Talking to a therapist or counselor can be incredibly beneficial. Consider Robert, who used to be the life of every family gathering, but found himself increasingly reclusive. His daughter gently encouraged him to join a local book club. Hesitantly, he went, and slowly, through shared discussions, he reconnected with people, finding a renewed sense of belonging and interest in the world. Finally, let's talk about a warning sign that can be particularly frightening: frequent falls, or a persistent feeling of unsteadiness on your feet. It's more than just an occasional trip. It's noticing that you're stumbling more often, having more near misses, or even experiencing actual falls that leave you shaken and perhaps injured. You might feel a general sense of imbalance, as if the ground isn't quite as stable as it used to be. This is not a sign to dismiss as simply clumsiness. Falls are a leading cause of serious injury, hospitalization, and even death among seniors. A fall can result in broken bones, especially hip fractures, head injuries, and a devastating loss of confidence. The painful reality is that the fear of falling often leads to reduced activity, which exacerbates muscle weakness and mobility issues, creating a dangerous cycle that further increases the risk of future falls. It can quickly erode your independence and profoundly impact your quality of life. Yet, this is one of the most preventable and manageable risks. There are so many proactive steps you can take. Incorporating balance exercises into your routine, such as gentle tai chi, yoga, or even standing on one leg while holding on to something sturdy, can dramatically improve your stability. Strength training, particularly for your leg muscles, is crucial. A simple home safety assessment can identify hazards, remove loose rugs, improve lighting, ensure handrails are secure, and keep pathways clear. Proper footwear, with good support and non-slip soles, is also vital. Always review your medications with your doctor or pharmacist, as many drugs can cause dizziness or affect balance. Regular eye checkups are also important, as poor vision contributes to falls. If you've had a fall or are feeling unsteady, speak to your doctor immediately. They can assess your risk and recommend specific interventions, perhaps even physical therapy. Think of Eleanor, who had a bad fall and became terrified of moving. Her doctor recommended a gentle Tai Chi class. Slowly, she gained strength and confidence. Now, she walks with a steadier gait, no longer living in fear, rediscovering the joy of movement. Next, we'll bring all these vital points together, and I'll share that surprising insight I mentioned earlier. We've just spent some time exploring 5 incredibly important signals that our bodies and minds often send us as we age: that pervasive sense of fatigue or reduced mobility, the unsettling changes in appetite or unexplained weight loss, the moments of increased confusion or forgetfulness, the quiet pull towards social withdrawal, and the worrying frequency of falls or unsteadiness. Each of these, on its own, can feel like a daunting challenge, a stark reminder that time marches on. But I want to reassure you that this conversation isn't about painting a grim picture of inevitable decline. Quite the opposite. In fact, it's about shining a light on opportunities, on areas where you have immense power to intervene, to adapt, and to significantly improve your quality of life. Remember, none of these signs are a definitive sentence. Instead, they are valuable pieces of information, like a dashboard light in your car telling you to check the engine. They're not there to scare you, but to prompt action. When we talked about reduced mobility and fatigue, we explored how gentle movement and proper nutrition can rekindle your energy and strength. When we looked at changes in appetite, we saw how strategic eating and joyful meal preparation can nourish your body back to vitality. For cognitive shifts, we discussed the power of brain-stimulating activities and social connection to keep your mind sharp and engaged. We learned that combating social withdrawal involves reaching out, rekindling old joys, and finding new communities. And for those unsettling stumbles, we highlighted how balance exercises and simple home adjustments can restore your confidence and stability. And here's the surprising truth I promised you, the one that 99% of people miss, especially when they see these signs in themselves or others. The true warning isn't just the appearance of these signs themselves, but the widespread belief that they are simply part of getting old and that nothing significant can be done. The real surprise is just how interconnected all these aspects of our well-being truly are. When you actively address one area, you often see ripple effects that positively impact the others. For example, improving your mobility means you're more likely to engage socially. Better nutrition fuels your brain, sharpening your memory. Reduced fear of falling encourages you to be more active, which in turn boosts your mood and cognitive function. It's a beautiful, intricate dance of interconnected systems. The most potent warning sign of all is letting go of the belief that you have control, that you can influence your own trajectory. The profound surprise is that many of these signs are not irreversible harbingers of the end, but rather, they are signals that your body is adaptable, that it responds to care, and that with proactive steps, you can not only manage these challenges, but often reverse aspects of them, leading to a far richer, more active, and more independent life than you might have imagined possible. It's about shifting from a mindset of passive acceptance to one of empowered action. It's about understanding that these aren't just senior moments or just getting old, but rather an urgent invitation to embrace a more intentional, proactive approach to your health and happiness. The real surprise is that you have far more agency and capacity for improvement than society often leads us to believe as we age. So, I truly hope that this conversation has sparked a sense of hope and determination within you. Please don't ignore these whispers from your body and mind. Instead, listen to them, acknowledge them, and then, most importantly, take action. Start small. Choose one thing from today's discussion that resonated with you and make a tiny change. Celebrate every little victory. Your well-being in these precious golden years is worth every effort. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these signs in yourself or a loved one? And what steps have you taken? Or perhaps you have a wonderful story of improvement you'd like to share. Please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could truly help someone else who's watching. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps us reach more people who need this message. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more practical, uplifting content to help you live your very best life at every age and every stage. Remember, every day is an opportunity to nurture your health, cherish your connections, and embrace the vibrant life you deserve. Live your best life at every age.